IVM.
Hey, if you like this show, then you should definitely check out another show on the IVM podcast network called Paisa Vaisa. It's a show hosted by Anupam Gupta that will clear all your personal finance doubts, from mutual funds to loans to SIPs. New episodes are out every Monday.
Hey guys, welcome to IVM Likes. This is Surbhi, and today in the studio we have Abbas.
Hi.
Alika.
Hello.
And Janam. Wow.
Janam's happy.
Janam's
Wow.
I want to say some other word, but I'm like, hi.
Oh, that word.
Alright. Guess it sounds like we're in a good mood. Because
Yeah.
maybe we are, or maybe we're all sad inside.
Or bipolar.
Yeah. We could only, yeah. Let's get going. Okay, today in the episode, we're talking about our favorite games from the 90s.
Woo.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
We
the
had
early
it.
2000s as well, no?
No, that's the point. Retro
Cool.
90s games. Wow.
Alright.
Okay.
90s and before.
90s was
and
really
before.
long back, guys, by the way.
Don't do this, Chanam. We know we're getting old.
So you know what just happened? So it was 9/11 yesterday, and I just told Surbhi that I saw a post that said it's been 17 years
Yeah.
since 9/11.
You're joking. 17?
Yeah. This was
seven-
my exact reaction. I was like, why?
It was my reaction when I saw the post, and I was like, wait, I need to cross-check this. Has it really been 17 years? Because I don't remember receiving this news of 9/11 17 years ago. But yeah.
It's basic math, 2001, 2018.
Listen, okay,
It doesn't-
alright.
It doesn't feel like it.
It still feels like 2012. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
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 The world ended in 2012. We're just
2012.
repeating the world, the
Yeah,
year
we're
again.
stuck in a loop. That's
Yeah.
true.
It's Groundhog Year.
Did you just say stuck in a lube?
Loop.
Oh, loop. Okay.
Man.
This is not No Sex in the City, Abbas.
Which, by the way, you should
Sorry.
listen to. Abbas really opens up and knows. He talks about everything, guys.
Let's get
Let's
back
get
on
into what
topic.
the recommendation, which is the round one of IVM Legs. Alright, who wants to start?
Just like a video game.
It is like a video game.
Yes, I see.
Round one
Begins.
Alright, Alika, go for it.
Oh man, okay, I'm gonna do a real quick recommendation. There's this really cool animated movie on Netflix called Big Fish and Begonia, which I watched recently. It's actually a Chinese animated epic fantasy film. It's not Japanese, this is what I learned recently. And I'm mangling these names. I am so sorry, but I don't know how to pronounce these, so
I
I'm
don't
just
think
going
anyone
to
in
do
China
this.
hears our show, so
You know,
we totally
in
can.
case they do, I apologize in advance. Please correct me. But I'm going to try these names. It's been written, produced, and directed by Liang Zhuan and Zhang Chun, I think. But it's like the first animated feature film from this new studio called BNT Studio, and they were collaborating with another studio called Studio Mir, and they've definitely like taken a lot of great inspiration from the Studio Ghibli sort of films. So there's a lot of this really cool whimsical fantasy things. I'll go into a little bit of what the film is without trying to give away too much. So it's basically set in this world which is kind of like between our world and heaven.
Okay.
So it's like a mid-world thing, and the people who inhabit the world aren't humans or anything. They're like these demigods. I'd call them demigods. They're named the others, but they look human.
Oh, wow.
They're just like demigods. They have the power to control bits of nature and stuff. And basically, as they mature, they learn to control the elements of nature in the human world. So there's this girl called Chun, and basically once she hits, I guess, the age when they take their right of learning how to handle the human world, they kind of go into the human world as different sea creatures, and she becomes like this red dolphin. Goes into the human world, and basically they have to stay there 7 days to learn how it works, and they can experience the wonders of it. So during these 7 days, a fisherman helps her escape from a fishing net.
Okay.
And that would have killed her just before she had to go back to her world. And in the process, the fisherman kind of loses his life.
Oh.
So then she takes the soul of the fisherman and brings it back to her world. And then there's a long process of how she's planning to get him back to his world and to his sister who misses.
Man.
And it's really cool. It's super fantastical. So there are like all these really great visual imagery, like of these red dolphins swimming in the sky and whales, and it's really pretty. The story is a little convoluted. It's a little hard to understand, but in my opinion, just kind of sit back and enjoy the visuals. The story is fun as well.
How long is this one?
I think it's about like an hour and a half.
Okay, sounds
Yeah,
okay.
it's really fun to watch, and it's on Netflix. And I was really excited to see something which was like not an American film nor like a Japanese film, which are mostly the traditional animated things you see. So it was really good. It was a very interesting film, and it was a cool epic fantasy thing. So go watch it.
That's fine. What's it called again?
It's called Big Fish and Begonia.
Thank you, Alika. Moving on. Janam, what do you have to recommend this week?
So I'm recommending a song. It's called Let Yourself Be Huge by Cloud Kicker.
Hey, that's what I'm doing by eating so much food.
Yeah, you should let yourself be huge. Also, the album is called Let Yourself Be Huge, but there's also a song by the same name called Let Yourself Be Huge. And it's by Cloud Kicker. He's an artist based in the US. He actually plays heavy progressive metal.
Oh, wow.
But this album is not heavy at all.
Wow.
It's actually very, very soothing, very uplifting, very ambient. And this song in particular is, again, it's mostly instrumental like the rest of the album. And it's got a lot of soothing guitar melodies, which throughout the song, it's kind of like this mix of feeling euphoric as well as tear jerky. It's like a mix. It's like a catharsis of sorts. So just check this song out. It's on my playlist called All Time Favorites. So it is one of my all time favorites.
Do you
songs.
have a playlist? Can you link? Can you?
I have multiple playlists actually. I have all time favorites. I have like a.
But this is what
shower
Apple
playlist.
Music.
Yeah, it's on Apple
Maybe
Music.
Maybe we could give out this link if the public playlist.
Sure.
Because that sounds fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I shall share.
All right, we will leave the
Let
link
yourself
in the
be
description.
huge. Also, something my girlfriend told me. No. Yes. No. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
What sort of genre is this music fall into then?
He is an artist. Usually falls under metal or progressive metal, but this is more. I would say it's more
Still
alternative,
genre.
more chill.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Very
That sounds fun. Thank you. What is the
What's
artist
the
called?
artist called? Yeah.
Cloud Kicker.
Cloud Kicker. Oh,
Yes.
gets clouds and gets huge.
Yeah, you know what, Bas? We need to draw a line somewhere.
What did I say? I just.
You know exactly what you said.
Okay.
Are you not going to ask me for my
Yeah, I
recommendation?
am going to ask you.
We're kind of worried.
All right.
Bas, please leave out all joke opportunities, okay? Please
no,
try.
Guys, I am recommending a very nice TV show. It's an Amazon Prime original. It's called Harmony, and it's hosted by A.R. Rahman, guys.
What?
Yeah.
It's a TV show about music?
Hosted by A.R. Rahman.
Yes. I'm very surprised that they haven't promoted this much more. So
As much as Comic Stan, you mean?
yeah, because clearly this gets more laughs. No, I'm kidding. It's a wonderful show. So essentially the concept of the show is it's 5 episodes long, and every episode A.R. Rahman goes to a particular part of India, and each episode is, so it's kind of like the Duorists. I mean, you guys are aware of the Duorists, where they mashed up 2 artists together, send them for a weekend,
Holiday
some
getaway.
nice scenic place, and then by the end of the end of 2-3 days they have a song, right? So it's kind of like that, but what happens is where it differs from the Duorists is A.R. Rahman travels to a place, meets a musician, and this particular musician is a master of an instrument or a kind of music that is slowly going out of getting extinct from India, right? So for example, like in the first episode, he travels to Kerala and he meets a musician who is expert in this instrument called Mizavu, Mizhavu, which is essentially a percussive instrument which not many people in India play anymore. In the second episode, he meets a veena player. Again, veena is not an instrument that's very widely played in India. And then they trace the lineage of the musician, their family, and the instrument, and how it came to be, right?
This is very researched.
It's very research. It's very beautifully shot also. So like when he goes to Kerala, it's very beautifully shot. They have these amazing aerial shots, and then even when they're performing, it's very well.
Wait, so is A.R. Rahman hosting it?
He's hosting it, yeah.
Wow.
So he introduces the thing. He goes to the place. He meets them, and the funny thing, not the funny, but kind of the charming thing is A.R. Rahman is not the most talkative kind of person, right? So there are these little awkward silences between when he's talking to them. You can clearly see he's trying to break the ice or trying to find something, you know. But the thing is, when they actually start jamming, when he starts playing music, when he's talking about music, you see this whole new side of A.R. Rahman coming, because we've never seen him work in a studio making music. So when he actually does that with musicians, you kind of get why he is who he is, right? So, and the thing is, the kind of songs that they come up with by the end of the episode, so the last around 6-7 minutes are the performance of the song that they have jammed on, which they composed, right? So there's the blockbuster, chartbuster version of A.R. Rahman, like who did the Hamma Hammas and all these, and there's that slightly experimental, progressive side of A.R. Rahman who does experimental stuff, and the music that he makes for this show is kind of in that experimental zone. So it takes a while to. So by the way, you can download all the songs from Prime Music which are used on the show
under the album Harmony.
Harmony, yeah.
Okay, nice.
So it takes a few listens to like those songs, but once you get to know them, it's wonderful. So definitely check this show out.
How many episodes?
It's 5 episodes.
It's just music, no lyrics, right?
Yeah, it's just music.
I remember, like, I think my favorite musical is that basically like an instrumental by A.R. Rahman is in that movie Rockstar. It's called The Dichotomy of Fame.
Okay.
That one was beautiful. Like, I listen to it when I can't focus, and like makes me feel. But
yeah, it's a wonderful, because he is this mainstream Bollywood / South Indian film composer, and he still gets to know pure classical musicians and gets to know about their history and lineage. So it's very beautifully shot as well. So
awesome. I'll actually check this out.
It's Harmony.
This sounds really interesting, because I want to know about like these ancient instruments of music which are now going out of fashion, I guess, or going extinct rather.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abbas. That was Harmony, and it's available on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Okay, moving on to my recommendation. I'm actually recommending a website that I've been using lately. It's called Noisly, Noisli. So I don't know, I chanced on it because I was looking for something to listen to while working, and since all the offices I've been to in the last 3 years just are open workspaces, and this is just like, it's annoying because the whole concept of open spaces is it like initiates interaction, and you're supposed to work more, and you're supposed to like collaborate on ideas, but it's shit. Like, I can't focus. I kind of don't agree about this whole thing, which is why I noticed this website. And since I can't listen to music with lyrics, so this is basically, it's super cool if you want to listen to like some white noise while working on something, and has like different combinations. So I used to take the train to work, and somehow like I realized it's super nice to like listen to the train ka monotonous noise in the background. That's also kind of white noise. So it has like 7 different options for you to listen to, and I've noticed it's super productive. Like, I get so much done when I'm just listening to like one constant something instead of like people talking in my ear.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's damn fun. You should check it out. And it is for like, you can use it for 2 purposes. There's one for productivity and one to relax.
Okay.
So if you want to sleep to it, there's like different options for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's super fun. There's one if you want just the noise of wind in the background. So the fun thing is you can combine the sound of rain and you can put some wind in the background. You can also pretend like you're not sitting in a train right at that point and increase
That
the
actually
train
looks like
volume.
a fart emoji.
Yeah, the wind one. Oh, there's also fire. If you want to pretend like you sit next to the fire, you can do that. And this coffee shop noise, which is my favorite.
So it's like very ambient background sounds that can play, and you're doing
play.
Yeah.
And there's a fan ka white noise because I can't sleep in like just silence, like a pin drop silence. I need like fan ka white noise. So it's super convenient. You can just turn this fan ka noise. You'll be fine.
I've not used this
But
particular
what about the
website.
fan ka hawa?
Arey, to hawa is AC ka.
Oh.
That's how,
nice.
guys. This is.
Oh my god.
I've not
First world pleasures, but third world noises. Nice.
That's where I belong. That's where my roots are at. But let's do a quick recap of what we recommended, Chanu.
I I recommended a song called Let Yourself Be Huge by Cloud Kicker.
Alright, Abbas, what did you recommend?
I recommended the TV show Harmony on Amazon Prime.
And I recommended Big Fish and Begonia on Netflix.
Awesome. I recommend a website called Noisely. Check it out, guys.
So it's called Noisely.
Noisely.
Not
N-O-I-S. No.
Okay. Nusli Wadia is Nes Wadia's father.
Alright, let's take a quick break,
You know
guys.
too much
Let's take a
about
quick break. We'll be
On
right
that
back.
note.
We'll be right back.
You know what it's been? Like every week has been an awesome week on IVM. This week on IVM, we got the 300th episode of Cyrus Says. To mark this milestone, Cyrus has an MTV VJ reunion with Malaika and Nikhil Chinnappa. Listen in for tons of laughter and nostalgia. You really, really don't want to miss this. 300 episodes! On the scene and the unseen, Amit Verma is joined by a farmer leader, Gunwant Patil, to discuss India's agricultural crisis and the state of farmers. On Know Your Kanun, lawyer and host Amber Rana helps us to understand the complexities related to the laws and rights regarding cruelty. Last week on the Pragati podcast, Pawan and guest host Shambhavi Nayak were joined by renowned scientist Dr. Kumarasamy Thangaraj to discuss the great genetic diversity of India. On the Kinetic Living podcast this week, Coach Urmi talks to stand-up comic and the host of Keeping It Queer, Naveen Narona, about his busy schedule and the struggle to create a fitness regime for himself. And as always, if you're not following us on social media, please make sure that you do. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We do a lot of really interesting stuff over there. Also, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. We have this thing called IVM CCTV over there where we give you guys a glimpse into the studio. And with that, let's continue with your show.
Welcome back after the break. You're listening to IVM Legs, and in round 2 of this episode, we're discussing our favorite games from the 90s. Alright, who wants to start? I will start. Alright, don't worry about it. Don't worry
Someone's
about it.
excited.
Let me. Oh god, I just want to make sure nobody talks about the same thing that I want to talk about. So,
But this is not a recommendation round. This is a
I know.
discussion.
We can agree with
It's
you.
all a competition. My life is a competition, guys.
This is how we know you're a gamer.
Oh, okay.
You need
I
competition.
was like,
That is true.
Hey, it's all good, but should have at least anyway.
Should have at least said it on No Sex in the City.
Yeah, like here we are.
Okay, Alika,
Don't
thank
make
you.
fun of my stutter, you guys.
Thank you. I am a gamer, and my first favorite game from the 90s that I used to play on my dad's phone a lot was Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh my god,
my
you
God.
had roller coaster.
Your
Yes.
dad had a phone in the 90s?
Okay, yeah, it was kind
Wow,
of the
you
90s,
are
guys.
rich.
My dad used a Sony Ericsson and
Okay.
it had 2 games. I think one was a snake game, and this one
Yeah,
was the
Snake was awesome.
colored game. It was
Okay.
and it's called Roller Coaster Tycoon. Where
Wait,
you,
roller coaster tycoon was for the phone?
I
yeah,
never
so
thought
I
of
think
this
you
game.
can play. You have never. Oh, but it's super cool, dude. Like, remember Farmville and all these games that came along later?
sure this was the
Farmville was
90s?
Facebook.
Farmville was later, but this was the origin of all the basically make your own theme park kind of thing.
How old? Wait, which year are you born in?
Wait, I'm a 90s kid.
I'm sure this is not the 90s.
Listen, let me
The
Google
90s
this for
mein
you.
Snake
She was like 5 years old when 9/11 happened.
My god.
Wait, this
No,
was.
so then you were like, what, 3?
Why is everyone
Can
so
you
young?
calm down, guys?
Oh my god, you're the generation that started playing video games on parents' phones.
Yeah.
And I'm very young.
That's not true. Okay, no, I've used that thing. The thing with the cassette. I've used that, and I played
The thing with the
Mortal.
So how
Cassette?
is
What does that
how is it
mean?
the phone then? How is it your dad's
The-
phone?
God, it's one of the games that I played, and I want to start with it. God damn it, you guys! Just this form, or you couldn't deal with it.
The
That's why you're
company-
pulling me down with you. I hate this.
Did you play Bounce?
I remember
Yeah,
playing
Bounce was the
Bounce was
first
cool.
The
colored
ball would
game
go
I-
would grow bigger and bigger. But alright, since you guys don't know about Roller Coaster Tycoon, I guess Alika,
So
you
the,
will have to.
the roller coaster, sorry, Alika,
fine.
roller coaster came out in 1999. Is
Huh.
that the year you played it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it came out on Xbox. Anyway, we shall look into that.
My God.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was for console.
I played on, which is why I played it on the phone. No, it's also on the phone, guys. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you the phone version. Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I mean, you can't show
phone.
the audience this.
Listen,
But
it says
feel
here.
free to go and
it
look
says
it
right
up.
here, classic mobile gameplay. So I'm going to link you all to this. But it was a damn fun game. You had to basically make your own roller
Yeah, yeah.
coaster, and it was so tricky. Like the first 2 levels were easy, but after that it was very tricky. Like if you miss a spot, all the people will die.
Whoa!
Everybody dies.
That's fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Was
Yeah.
there blood if they fall?
No, there's no blood. Game over. Blood came along super late. So I remember if Mortal Kombat also didn't like show explicit blood. It was just like red pixels flying.
I mean, Doom. I played a lot of Doom when I was small.
Oh,
Janam is hardcore.
Yeah.
Janam is hardcore.
But when did Doom 1 come out? I'm just trying to look. I'm
Probably,
looking for
As you
Doom and
can
saying
hear, guys,
Doom.
we did a lot of research for this episode.
93.
Okay.
Doom 1 came out in the year 93, but I started playing I think in 96 or 97. And I was me and my sister were both addicted to this game, and that's all we did. We waited for weekends to come and just binge on this game.
Weekends, I'd just be playing like all the time. I'd come home after school.
But we had homework, and if you didn't do the homework, the teacher gave a remark in your diary.
Alika doesn't give a shit about that. Clearly.
I was the sort of person who like grew up on these weird games.
What
so
did you spend most of your childhood playing?
I'm
What
trying
game?
to remember in chronological order. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, we had games which were like pre-installed in the computer. So we
Yeah.
had like Mortal Kombat.
Minesweeper?
Oh, Prince.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I had Prince. I know for sure.
Prince
I
of
had-
Persia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince of Persia was pretty cool. But I do remember we had Mortal Kombat installed on our computer, and like after a couple of times of playing, and this was when I was like, I wasn't sure how the computer worked. I was pretty young. So my dad would like turn on the computer, and my brother, for some reason, who was younger than me, still had a better grasp of how these things would work. Anyways, so there was a time when he'd gone off and my dad was also off, and I was like, what do I want to do? I want to play Mortal Kombat. So I clicked on Mortal Kombat, and then you right clicked on the icon and you'd go to play. And I was like, what other options are there? What is Unistall?
Ooh. What was that about?
Uninstall.
I uninstalled Mortal Kombat, and then my brother came home and he was so upset.
Oh my
I ran around a lot that day.
Oh man.
But it was great. We had a lot of fun playing Mortal Kombat, doing all those fatalities and things. Then another game I played, I think it was the first CD game I got, and this is because my parents were like, oh, it's an educational game, it'll be good for you. But it was super fun. It was called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. So I don't know if any of you have read the books or...
I've read the comics.
Yeah. So it's a detective game where you play a private investigator trying to catch this villain called Carmen Sandiego, except she's always like 2-3 steps ahead of you. So when the world is Carmen Sandiego, is basically she's gone off to a different continent or country, and you have to get onto a plane and land in the country which you think she's gone to and speak with the locals, and they'll give you these weird cryptic clues about like, she was wearing this sort of dress, and then you have to figure out, oh, where's this sort of dress worn usually, and you have to kind of narrow it down and then fly to a country based on that. So
I played a very similar game. It was called Globetrotter.
I thought that was a basketball team.
I don't know about that, but it had a very similar thing. Like that character would go around the world, and you had to like basically cover the entire map and click pictures where you went, and they used to give you trivia about each place and similar
Wow.
to what you said.
I love play that, but both these games sound very interesting. What about you, Bas?
So as someone who is way older than all of you here, I remember...
I beg your pardon.
I remember playing the original Space Invaders where there was one ship at the bottom and you had to take out rows of alien ships. So those are some of my earliest memories of playing. Then of course Pac-Man was a rage when it came out.
There was a similar game like Missile something, right? There used to be missiles flying from top and you had to like shoot.
That's true.
I don't remember the name of that
missile.
game.
But I remember that game. I think the format was very like similar. They now Candy Crush is also kind of that format. Like you have to hit on.
It's a combination of Tetris and these other games where you
like the
Tetris.
bubble.
line something up and then it explodes.
Tetris was amazing, you guys.
Oh my god! I think Tetris is why all of us have like slight OCD.
Yeah,
about things.
that's true.
It's like, oh no, it's not in the foot.
If that
it doesn't fit.
tall thing goes on a square, you're
Is
like,
it in it?
Oh, there's a thing actually. I'm not 100% sure on this info, but I know it exists. I think it's called the Tetris phenomenon, but it happens when you've played Tetris for a really long time continuously. There's this weird phenomenon where you go out to the outside world and then you start wanting to arrange things in these very neat blocks.
Yes.
So it's literally called, I think, the Tetris effect or the Tetris something. I'm not 100% sure on the name.
That is true.
But this has been proven for all video games. that once you play it for like a very long extended period of time, and then you go, then you kind of log off and you go into the world and you start wanting to do these same things. Like I
Doom.
know, yeah. Well,
Wanting to kill.
I'm a little concerned about that.
Okay, but
I was going for like Assassin's Creed when you just want to look at things and jump over them.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, that's how games.
But the first like shooter game I remember was Wolf 3D, which was on your.
No, the first shooter game was Duck Hunt.
No, that's what was with the actual gun. Duck Hunt was like way advanced as compared to Wolf 3D, which was literally just a hand with a gun with pixels and with brick walls, and you just have to maneuver your way and shoot
Which
guards.
year was Wolf?
You have to kill all the Nazis.
93, 94, I guess.
Doom was 93.
Yeah, but I never played Doom.
Oh.
So the computer games was the beginning. Then there was the console games with like 9999 in one sort of thing, which is where I think the most of my time in my childhood was spent playing Contra, Super Mario, Islander, so many other games, Donkey Kong, all these games.
Did you play Rayman?
I don't remember playing Rayman.
Was
fun. Dave? There was a game called Dave on a computer.
It was so difficult to beat.
Wait, what was Dave again?
It was just this guy called Dave. It was kind of similar to Mario, but a little more advanced and sleek. And you had to take out the bad guys, and you got jetpacks and bonuses on your journey, and you had to.
It was like a side-scrolling platformer, except they didn't side-scroll. It was just like a static screen, and then you went to the next level.
Yeah.
I feel like I've missed out on my childhood. Played this.
I had Dave installed, and with that I had Sky installed.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever play Sky?
I think I did, yes.
It was where you had that spaceship and you had to kind of jump from block to block. It was kind of like the precursor to Subway Surfer.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all these games have one like things tying them all together. Like all these racing games like Temple Run, Subway Surfer, there's the only thing going on for them is running. Like endless running.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I quite Road Rash, guys. That was also endless.
Road Rash was also a very. I used to feel very edgy playing Road Rash because it had like a rock and roll soundtrack, and you could beat the police.
Yeah. And in the end, the girl comes and kisses you.
I forgot there were all these weird characters.
And the cut scenes and everything had these weird artwork where people had like fat lips and they didn't really look pretty. They had leather jackets and earrings and all that.
Very caricatural.
Would you like purposely knock off old women
crossing
the road?
My God.
In the game, guys. In the game, not.
I have strong memories of like never being able to complete the Pacific Highway level in Road Rash. I could do every other level, and Pacific Highway I would always throw myself off the cliff. Unintentionally.
And then I saved like a year's worth of my pocket money to buy a Sega console, and the first game I bought was like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh man, I love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog was like
run
such
so
a rage.
Fast.
You're collecting rings and all that. I don't think I ever was able to complete that whole game.
Sonic was also in a way like the Subway Surfer, right?
I have not played Subway Surfer, so I don't know.
Wait, Temple Run? You had to collect things on your way. Yeah, it's
I'd say Sonic was better than Temple Run though.
I love Sonic. It's so cool.
Okay. Then I used to buy all these movie tie-in games. Like if the Lion King game comes out, I'll buy Lion King.
The Lion King game was great. I found all the cheat codes for it, and I could just get through all the levels. It was so good.
And I remember Lion King had the Stampede level, which was the hardest to pass.
No, that was the easiest.
Really?
I found that super easy.
Maybe I
found the fight between Simba and Scar really difficult.
Yeah, that too.
Did you guys play Snow Bros?
No, but I know about it. It's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. It's addictive, and so I'll explain what the game is. Right? It's usually a 2-player game. So this again, my sister and I used to play this. She was the blue character, I was the red character, and we used to. There are these two snowmen, and you press a button and they shoot snowballs from their stomach, and there are monsters. So you have to basically cover the monster in the snowball, and then you push them. And then they go like lying on the screen.
Oh man!
And then they die.
Was this a console game or nice.
Yeah, we played it on the console. So
you guys play this Popeye game, the Popeye video game?
No,
none of you. So what used to happen is a pretty early game. So Brutus has Olive, and you had to kind of go save Olive from him. But the catch was the green spinach would show up anywhere on the screen for like 20 seconds, and you had to make sure in 20 seconds you reach the spinach. As soon as you reach this, kind of like in Pac-Man, the moment you eat the bigger dot, everything becomes you can eat anything. So similarly, power up. So you ate the spinach, you bulked up, and then you could kick anyone anywhere you want, and then you could reach Brutus. And
so Snow Bros had a similar thing. There were these power up bottles. So there was one bottle which, if you go and catch it, your face blows up and you can just go flying around the screen and hitting all the monsters. And there was one power up where you get a fast running power, so you can just keep sprinting.
Because I feel like we're kind of running out of time, but this was amazing, and we have a bunch of more.
We'll have to do a part 2.
We have to do a part 2.
We have to do part 2. I haven't even gone into all the civilization building games.
Maybe we should record a podcast while playing one of these games.
Sure.
We should get one of these computer versions of these games and play it and record a podcast.
I volunteer as tribute.
All right, let's do it. Thank you for listening in, guys. This is it for IVM Likes. You can reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at IVM Podcast. You can also talk to us personally if you want to, especially Abbas, because he's an open book. Abbas, where are you at?
I am on Twitter at Abbas Momin. I am on Instagram at Abbas Momin88. And I have a fan page on Facebook. Please like it.
Just make it stop up at Twitter, guys. Alika.
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Cape Fox Alex. Don't at me.
Janam.
I'm on Twitter at Janam Devan.
I'm on Twitter at Small Talk Police. This was it. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, Abbas.
Send me money so that I can buy the PS4 Spider-Man game. That's all.
Man. Actually, do that. Please send us money. Send
me.
Alright, just Abbas.
I'll share it with you, the game.
Okay. Bye. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Did I just catch you on your way to work? Or did you end up pulling an all-nighter? Let me guess. You have a packed schedule for the day, the week, and probably the month and the year. That's a lot for your mind to handle, don't you think? This buzzing chaos also brings tons of negative thoughts. Am I right? Try spinning that bottle in a positive direction with me, Chetna, on the Positively Unlimited podcast, every Monday on IVM Podcasts. It's time to change your life one alphabet at a time.
Long, long ago, not in Bethlehem, but in a place nearby, there was a wonderful birth of a huge show, which I like to call Cyrus Says. A show that encapsulates everything in human history, from the first Homo sapien to the last Homo sapien, who's traversed the entire world and then come back to India. This is a show which tells you everything about everything. If you want to know, avoid Google, come to us. It's called Cyrus Says. Get new episodes every Monday and Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts from. It's simple as A, B, oh God, what comes after that?